G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to Tabletop News. I'm your host, the author David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood of Cade, Power Games, Into the Elseworlds, and Erotic Tales from the Empire. It looks like YouTube is not connected. Or X. I'll have to check on that later. Something's gone wrong with my computer, so I'm on my old computer. My new computer, of course, is actually not so new. It's an i3. It's close to 5 years old. Well, it's actually more than 5 years old. It's past its warranty and its extended warranty. And of course, what happens when it can pass this warranty? It died. So actually, I dug up my old computer, and it's got most of my early days settings and stuff on it. And I just backed up from the cloud a few things. Sorry, so not everything is working fine, however, and I can't connect to X or Rumble. Oh, sorry, X or YouTube, so I'm going to have to manually upload those. Hold on. But I'm going to check if I'm live. Yeah, so I am live. We're doing it live. Yes, so we're live. Okay, so I got... See, fortunately, a lot of stuff for Rumble Studios now is in my browser, and I don't have to rely on OBS and all the overlays there. But let's see if I toggle. Yeah, I will manually upload those later. So let's get into it, shall we? Now, always risking deconnection when I do this. So if I get disconnected or whatever, but I can't see the chat. I apologize. I cannot see the chat, but there is activity. There was new feed activity. Oh well, I apologize if you can't see the feed. First up, Delson's Dives. Delson's Dives from June 2024, a collection of tabletop role-playing maps by Dyson Logos. Hundreds of hand-drawn labyrinth maps from Zero Barrier. Starter Delve, $9.95. This is suitable for any tabletop fantasy role-playing game, famous in the old school revival community for a distinctive style. Dyson has drawn maps for many publishers, such as Wizards, Kobold Press, and dozens more. He's known for Candlekeep Mysteries and Glory of the Giants. Now he's released more than 1,000 maps and dozens of adventures free on Dyson's Dodecahedron D20. Why didn't you just call it Dyson's D20, please? And he also is successfully funded by Patreon. However, he does have some commercial releases. So for $9.95, you get the starter delves, valued at retail $64. They are DM3. Pay above the threshold price of $22.53, and you'll level up and get the entire collection. All right, starter delves. Customized dungeons for subterranean ventures for old school fantasy, over 140 pages of unique maps for characters levels 1 to 8. Moving on to Delves 2. Another 140 pages of maps and adventures, followed by 44 additional dungeons. it's all low level for old school. Old school, pretty much, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe most of the time they only go up to level 10. Now, you've got cartography of reviews. This is a collection of maps and descriptions from Dyson from 2014 to 2016 on his blog. Don't get to me to say that name 3 times, please. Now, it's designed as a letter-sized spiral-bound book, and you get Circles of Madness, Turning Tower, and Lair of the Harpy Sorceress. And last but not least, a commercial rose pack for those who want to make their own maps. Dyson's giving you a bit of a royalty-free lift. However, if you wish to level up, and by doing so, you get additional material. Free commercial map pack from 21, 22, and 23. Dyson, all under royalty 3, gives you the right to edit, mash, mangle, convert, change, and modify to suit your whim. 1200 DPI PNG graphics, perfect maps for high resolution publications. These are all previously released commercial products. 4 more collections specific to parts of 23 and 24. Highlights of these 4 installments. Quite a lot of material. Last but not least, Strange Stones. A 12-page digestible size zine. Tables for standing stones of various types, magical and otherwise. Random cursive when you do something stupid. This is about megalithic culture, which of course dominated Europe for thousands of years. This is Dyson's Delves. Next we have Cobalt's Ate My Baby. Beer and Pretzel's role-playing game from Life Level Games. Cobalt's Ate My Baby is a series of adventures. Of course, the rules collection to get you started, $7.95. This is the anti-dungeon crawl silliness from 2024 Orange Book editions from Life Level Games. It's one of the oldest Beer and Pretzels casual RPGs. Robots Cobalt's Ate My Baby makes you an inept kobold leaving a dungeon to raid nearby villagers in search of food for King Torg. All hail Torg. March cheerfully to your death upon the beaks of chickens, falling or dying under a cow, flaming meteor strike, orthodox lightning. If you're lucky, you might survive to bring him a tasty treat. All hail Torg. You might be that treat, yes. But you give him a treat to avoid being lunch. Now, funded in a 2023 Backer Kit campaign, lavishly, art, color art, yes. Lavishly decorated, yes, lavishly decorated, I shall say. Not going back. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Rules collection, pay the minimum price. Yes, that's what I meant to do. Yes, pay the minimum price, $7.95. However, level up, which I recommend you do, for 2026. Nice price. So for a nice price, you get the Orange Book. Cobalt's Ate My Baby is, Cobalt's a furry little doggy person with an insatiable appetite, terrible at everything that isn't cooking. They lead short, troublesome lives and die frequently. This simplistic version of Neville Nine's polymorph rules system. Basically, you have a role to play, you play it, your character will eventually die. You're a kobold. What do you expect? What's in your left paw? Wrong, Paul. What job do you have? Death checks. It's probably a lot of deaths. And kabam, are you my kobold? A quick start guide. Level up, which I recommend you do. You get some adventures. Inconvenient mishaps. Resets the dungeons. Who resets the dungeons after murder hobos wreck everything? Yeah, those damn adventurers. Who do they think they are? Heroes or something? How to kill kobolds. Yes. Mashup of Lewis Carroll. You get sent to prison for real offences. Like fighting, perhaps. I don't know. You're a murder hobo. No. We're kobolds. The adventurers, they're the murder hobos. All right, Origin's the greatest show on earth. Yeah. And a uncivil war. Of course, evil Chequered Empire. And the king wants a party. And yeah, these are all meant to be humorous, of course. But Morkborg and meets Kobold. Now, this is all worth it. If you don't know Morkborg, it is horror. It's horrific horror. No, it's actually good, terrific horror, however. You have to know Morkborg to know, yes. But those who know Morkborg would love this pack. And because it's Morkborg, and what's better than Morkborg? More Orkborg. So this smorgasbord is served for the kobolds. Yes, fun and games from Non-Flammable Games. Runehammer Easy D6. Coming to a close soon. This fast role-playing mayhem from DM Scotty. Easy D6, one price for the entire collection, $12.95. Gets you the core rulebook, puts you in charge of complex, yet surprisingly simple mechanics of wiggling the dice. Wasted World is a post-apocalyptic setting for super weird classes, creatures, and quests. Doomsgate's an oddball version of horror for your tabletop. Now, between Morkborg and Easy 6, I would choose Morkborg, but if you don't have Morkborg, Easy 6 is your next best thing. And if you're into oddball weird, Easy 6 and Morkborg are both good choices. Our book of quests, a whole bunch of quests for Easy 6. Now, this is a lot of game material for a wonderful price of $12.95. Empire of Elves. That's one word, Empire of Elves, myshopify.com. You like to support the channel? Support the channel by buying my merch today. Where has your mug taken you? Has it taken you to the fantasy realm of the Empire of Elves, set in the far distant future, where elves, dwarves, giants, orcs, goblins, ogres, centaurs, satyrs, and many other fantasy wonderful creatures all live under the benevolent rule of Emperor Cade Hashimoto. Second Emperor. The first Emperor ruled for 10,000 years, his grandfather, passing on to Cade the torch, not because he wanted to, because he had to, because Cade outsmarted him and became the richest in the Empire by far. Millionaires? I'm a multi-trillionaire. I own planets, you know. It's a mixture of science, magic, fantasy, hope, wonder, technology, and, of course, imagination. It's all, however, a serious look the main character is the Empire. Cade is just one of, it just happens to be the most important figure in the Empire. As you may know, I've promised to expand, and I have. Oh, where is it? Page 3. I have some posters of Queen Cleo Hyder. No. Cleo Hyder is one of the oldest, probably the oldest dragon known existence. She's only 1.2 meters high. Well, at least that's what she wants you to think. And she is quite old. So she is quite the interesting figure. Now there's more to come, of course. We got Cade's symbol, the Cady heart. Of course, popular is the dark magic. Cade loves to brew his coffee. Right, moving on. Brancelonia. Brancelonia is an Italian spaghetti fantasy 5th edition role-playing from quite the collection. $12.95. This is the English language portable document file of Brancelonia role-playing campaign setting from Archon Games from Milan, Italy. Italia! 5th edition and compatible systems, of course. Your legendary knight, treasure hunter. It's a brawly low fantasy land. Set, of course, in Italy, where you have talking mice, omnipotent fairies, devils, foul-mouthed marionettes, climb your ranks, and maybe pull off a heist or two. What could go wrong? Everything you need other than the core rulebooks. This is the setting. Gives you 198 pages of the complete setting with classes, history, new rules, new backgrounds, monsters, secrets, threats, curiosities, and a campaign in search of fortune. More spaghetti fantasy in Macaroniacon. A first expansion unlocked during the original Kickstarter campaign, more classes, and a wagon load of equipment of all kinds. The Empire Wax Back, which we assign, the Free Towns or the Empire. Now, this is an internal Italian empire set. So you have the northern regions of the kingdom and their free cities, and you've got new monsters and entanglements and a military campaign, and an almanac full of previews, extracts, more detailed versions of the setting, more material such as adventure hooks, characters, and special equipment, and more, part of the stretch goal of the original crowdfunding campaign. Which way will you go? Hero? Or the wacky villain? No, that was French. Okay, they don't like the French anyway. Moving on. Brancelonia's Bounty is a expansion. Supplements for, of course, Brancelonia. The entire collection, $14.95. anything under $20 these days is a good price. This is the English language version, and it is for Dungeons and Dragons and compatible systems. However, of course, a good DM can adapt anything. Now, the Bounty Kingdom Gazetteer says geographic sourcebook, tips of travel. Basically, it's a locations, maps, adventures, adventure hooks, characters, and assorted details from the snow-capped Sakra of St. Hazel to the deserted valleys of the temples, from Mount Vesuvius to Bonomia. Actually, I don't know the meaning of that word. I think it means beautiful place, I think. Now, the only obstacles are the terrible roads, which of course are infested with bandits, and your own laziness. I think the bandits might have to have something to do with the laziness. But there's new classes, etc. Basically expanding Barcelona. Beasts, 100 new creatures. So hundreds of fun with lore, maps, descriptions, minor monsters, and adventure hooks, and furious mans. And that's a good one. You can't spell campaign without pain. Dirty jobs for Brand Salonia. So additional content for a third crowdfunding campaign, adding more new material. Who said 5th edition is dead? It's critics, of course, who are quite vocal. But like I said, you rarely see D&D on here. But trust me, I can see it occasionally, such as Brand Salonia. And I do see many successful Kickstarter campaigns. But they are like only a handful. There are not that many. Now, the GM's Apprentice Decks, another one, campaigns soon coming to an end, but it's got a few more days yet in it. It's an idea generating card deck, an interesting card deck. $7.95 gets you started, but level up, which I recommend you do, by paying the threshold price of $18.65 or more, and you get the entire collection. Now, this comes with a base deck. This is 2025 the enhanced version of the original story idea toolkit. This is 120 cards that give you a so actually it's 60 double-sided cards, but basically 120 cards to give you a random plot. Now, to add to that random plot is fantasy and sale decks. This gives you more genre-specific elements to expand your deck. Level up, which I recommend you do, you get 5 themed decks: sci-fi, horror, weird horror, steampunk, and Demon Hunters. Now, Demon Hunters is inspired by Dead Gentleman RPG. You basically are an agent of the Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch, taking on vampires, lycanthropes, cultists, and everyday religious cuckoos. And of course, each one of them is trying to bring the world to apocalypse. So you have quite the interesting collection there. So this is an amazing collection. Now, you don't have to buy a coffee mug, says who? Oh, yes. I'm forcing you or twisting your arm. Now, for $2 a month, you can be a member of Future Fantasy, my Patreon, and support the channel as well as supporting my RPG. I am yet I do not have core rules. I've been using what is old as new, D6, and for now I shall continue while I have until I get more support, because not enough just to create your own rules, which I possibly can, and classes and so forth, is art. Most campaigns don't live or fail on the rules, they live and fail on the art. And art is expensive. And I've been funding and slowly building up my art collection through Future Fantasy and Empire of Elves. One word, empireofelves.myshopify.com. Now, of course, another way to support the links for DriveThruRPG. DriveThruRPG, the world's greatest, largest, and quite interesting download stores. Sometimes you get a flexible campaign, or free, or pay what you feel. And this is a highly successful. In fact, this was this week's bestseller. It reached Electrum level this week. Umdaar Rebel Broadcast Edition for Fate. There are Evil Hat Productions. There are systems that are outselling D&D. That's a fact now, and a routine occurrence. Now, even Traveller, some now and again, outsells D&D. Now, that's only on drive-through. I mean, you've got to take into effect D&D is found throughout hundreds of stores in every country, but it's no longer the multi-billion-dollar-a-year franchise. It's great. Well, the role-playing game, but other products are still supporting it. So it's still something that Hasbro is not quite ready to give up on or overhaul. Pride or arrogance, whichever you want to choose. D&D is still going strong. Now, others, of course, are slowly catching up, taking the market share, and Evil Hat Productions is on the rise, and Fate System is now on the rise. Now, I haven't seen much of Fate lately, but that doesn't matter. It's like one of the problems D&D suffered from was oversupply, which is why a lot of people have indeed cut back on the amount of third-party material as well, realizing that if oversupply is that it's better to make one or two good products a year than have a lot of releases. But if you're only small, single, only produce at the moment small, intermediate, just little catch-up material. Several thousand years ago, the megalithic masters unearthed ancient technology, strange weapons, and there you have it. Only the foolish or brave dare oppose these new dread dominions. So you've got super science and sorcery, where you play champions of Umdaar and join forces to defend the freelands, break the master's control, explore the vicious wonders of the world nexus. Whether you're a fan of He-Man, She-Ra, Thundercats, One Piece, Legend of Korra, you'll find something in this massive game of magic, super science, and righteous rebellion. This is a huge. Science fiction, fantasy, adventure setting. 450 pages. It's huge. 464 pages. And again, come at a flexible price, which is interesting. The Legend of Heroes, Tale of Destiny, is came in second place this week for another bestseller. It's, as you can see, anime style, forged the destiny of Zemura. Zemura is a tabletop role-playing game of political intrigue and emotional storytelling, drawing from nations, factions, and characters from beloved franchise Tales of Destiny. Powered by the new Prometheus system, step in the world of boundless possibilities. Fast-paced play with deep character customization. Over 500 pages. Drama, daring, mastercrafts, crafts and reputation, endless customization. And anime waifus. Legends through D's, The Sky's the Limit. Another huge epic. 515 pages. This is from Prometheus Books, of course. So, yes, of course, they'll be using the in-house system. Last but not least, another 5th edition production, The Hunter's Guide, Beasts of the Fey Realm. This is horror folk fantasy of the Fey Realm with monsters familiar and interesting. Guarantee sometimes you can set a low you can set a low goal, and sometimes, it depends. I've seen people set goals of, say, 1,000 and get 30,000, and I've seen people set goals of 30,000 and get 34. It is hard to know what you're going to get to start with. Remember, in Kickstarter, if you get to a certain point, you have to be able to not just afford to, you have to afford to deliver the product. And it's not just the books, it's the distribution. And distribution often gets you. Particularly with books, because printing is so few and rare. You often have to go to specialist printers who charge a lot, and then you have to have a distribution. And not everybody takes the obvious route of using Amazon. And in fact, most people I've seen haven't even used Amazon. So they set a low goal and succeed. And then they go to probably Drive-Through RPG and eventually to one of the bundle sites. There are other bundle sites. I'm just not going to cover them all. Now, The Hunter's Guide is a monster manual for 5th edition built around dark fantasy. Now, Fey horror has been around for quite some time. It's not as popular as Cthulhu, but it does have its dedicated fans. And one of the reasons why I believe this Kickstarter is successful, or would have been successful anyway, is illustrations and VTT. If you're doing 5th edition, you need to do VTT. You can get away with other unique systems with smaller fan bases, but with a large D20, was it D20, roll D20? Yeah, number of VTTs, people, you want to be, you want to have VTT tokens ready. And you can get previews, stretch goals, so every additional, and map expansions. Your feedback shapes the Fey. Grimoire. This is pretty reasonable. Let's look at the rewards. Let's not just scroll down. Okay, bang. Oh. Okay, there. Rewards. Oh. Digital edition, €15. And you got add-ons, toolkits, all digital. Yeah. Um, and you have print on demand. Yeah, print edition. Now, sometimes you might get a good, reasonable print on demand price. Uh, yeah, depends what country you're in. You know, sometimes success is a matter of luck. I've got quite the collection, and the Grand Collection, pretty good discount for getting the entire collection. Success. But of course, there's a difference in levels of success. Most people, I implore you, never give up your day job if you are going to go this route. It's going to take you time and money, and you're not always going to make it. You have to really understand Kickstarter is full. Okay, people are producing uh, their niche, they have their audience, they're producing material for between 200 to 300 people. They might make a modest income, but not enough to replace their day job. It's just the reality that role playing is now spread out over so many genres and so many different systems. It ain't the days of Gary Gygax, sending out $1 newsletters and becoming a multimillionaire. Isn't it amazing? But success breeds imitation, I think. It's the same with YouTube. It's the same with anything, really. I'm just going to check the chat. All right, I have a few people watching. Thank you for watching.